most personal trainers, coaches, like consultants, people, service-based people that are looking to take on clients are completely obsessed with the short-term game. So they're only looking at the last 7 days. What happened in the last 7 days? What happened in the last 7 days? Or, oh fuck, I've screwed up. I didn't do X. I didn't do Y. I didn't generate as much leads. I didn't make any sales, or whatever it is. You're obsessed about that 7 day period, and it's natural. It's 100% natural. But like, you're giving up too early. You're literally like thrown in the towel. You give up too early. You look at what's happened in the last 7 days and you just start beating yourself up about it. Therefore, what happens the next game week is you don't take as much action as you did the week before, and then you're dealing with rejection, because that's what it is. You're dealing with rejection when you're in business, and you're losing enthusiasm every time you get rejected. You're losing enthusiasm, and you're asking yourself, is this fucking worth it? Is this worth it? Been there, done that, and the monkey mind will do that. Okay? That's why it's important to test and measure your results, because there's hidden ROIs going on. If you just didn't give up, because like I said, 89% of salespeople, because you like when you are taking on clients, you have to be a salesperson, and that doesn't mean being a pushy salesperson. That means being a salesperson of service. 89% of salespeople have given up after 4 contacts. So if you're obsessed with the last 7 days and you're not thinking about 30, you're not thinking about 60, you're not thinking about 180, you're not thinking about 365, you're not thinking about 10 years down the line, then guess what? You're going to give up, and you're going to revert back to old ways, and you're just going to settle and go back, because you know what? You're addicted to the way you feel right now, and when you go into something new and you start doing something new and you're not liking it and you feel the resistance, it's new, you just revert back to the old ways. The way you used to feel, the safe zone, the familiar zone. Okay? So what you got to realise is, you've got to shift your paradigm. You've got to shift your paradigm. You've got to understand human psychology. Okay? You've got to care enough to understand this stuff. Because if you're just obsessed about the 7, it's all about you and it's not about them. And you've got to understand that you've got to have a system in place and manage. You've got to have a foundational system in place that's built around multi-touch. It's built around statistics. It's going to take you 5 times to actually just come into the person's mind, to actually contact them. It's going to take anywhere between 5 and 12 for them to say, I want to buy from that person. And it's usually going to be about contact 9. So, why are you so obsessed? Have a long-term strategy in place as well as a short-term strategy. And usually when you have a long-term strategy in place and you start implementing it, guess what happens? The short-term results show up. Because there is always that 10 to 20% of people that will come through that are in the solution-based mindset. You've got to understand the different mindsets. Okay? You're going to have people that fall through your long-term system that are in that solution-based mindset, that look at you and go, holy shit, I've been looking for this. So have you got that in place? Are you actually thinking about that? Because if you're not, that's why you give up and you go, it's not working, or this is not working, and then you just emotionally react, and then before you know it, you're doing something else, and then you're doing something else, and then you're doing something else, and you're not seeing something through. You've not got a bread and butter, a foundation that you're seeing through. And yeah, of course, go and try, test and measure other stuff, but have this foundational system in place that just allows you to just let it flow. Let it flow. Play the long-term game, as well as the short-term game coming through. Okay? So have that foundational system in place, and have the habits and behaviours in place that are going to allow the solution-based people to come through. Have the right content in place to allow the long-term people to come through and the short-term people to come through. You've got to think outside of the imaginary box and stop limiting your thinking and stop giving up too early, which leads to you beating yourself up. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been there. And there is times where the monkey mind will come in and I feel myself going back that way, and I'm just like, bring it back. It's just an imaginary thing going on in your head, okay? You've just got to learn the right tools.
Okay? Now, it's easy. Now, I'll say this again, it's easy to just go out there with someone that's got budget and just plug them into some
Real simple system that's just going to generate an influx of leads.
fucking easy to do that, right? It's harder to help someone break
Their habits. It's harder to help someone break their old behaviours. It's harder to get someone to really lean into their resistance and start building from the ground up. Because usually what happens, if there's no foundation there, you'll have that big burst.
and then guess what? The house will fall
Because there's no real foundation in.
I'm so passionate about this
Stuff is unbelievable, as you can tell. And I've got a really warm feeling right here when I say this, because I know it's true, because it's happened to me. Okay? It's happened to me and I'm laughing, but it wasn't fucking funny at the time. It was horrible.
It's horrible,
Horrible. And that's why I do what I do.
because I want to help you get that solid foundation in place within your business, within your life.
Solid foundations.
It's where it's at. Trust me. Please listen. Trust me, I done it
In 2015, and cringing. 23k lesson it was, right? And I put myself in the pit.
and guess what?
Scott was obsessed with the short-term game, and guess what? I beat myself up every single day because I didn't perceive myself to be worthy, and I was trying to prove myself.
Had the look at me syndrome.
Oh, what will they think syndrome? What will they think syndrome? What will they think syndrome? Look at me syndrome. Like putting on this face.
Just be yourself, and it comes from having the rock
Solid foundation in place and the rock solid understanding in place within your lead generation, within your core business, your daily productivity, your target market. Most people,
and even to this day,
I'm still questioning myself. I've got to understand my target market more. I want to know more. I want to understand more. I'm constantly looking at different ways to understand you guys better. 1,000,000%, I'm obsessed with it. And most people are not.
thinking about this basic stuff, and it's just not serving you, because at the end of the day, we've got to make you the big fish in the small pond, and most people are fishing in the wrong pond. Most people are trying to
Chuck fancy funnels and advertising up there when they don't even understand this stuff. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
yeah, you might get
Some
some,
initial results and some initial poof, but guess what? The house will fall.
or you end up building
Building a business that you resent and you don't fucking like, and because you're doing something you don't like.
which is cool. Like, you've got to have
Have that. If you're in a position where you're not doing what you want to do, like,
keep your little side bit going to keep the foundation there, with finances. But at the same time, get clear on what you really want to do.
while you're that's just your little side thing, but get clear on what you really want to do and build a foundation around that.
Because that's where you truly are going to operate from. Okay? So, don't give up. Do not beat yourself up.
And start thinking more longer term and start actually understanding the psychology that it's going to take 5 times. It's statistics. It's going to take 5 times for the person just to come into your mind, just to come into your dashboard of your other mind.
That's it. 6 to 12 times
After that,
usually around point 9, contact 9,
and don't be in the 89% that give up. Don't be in the 89% that are just fucking obsessed with the short term game. Play both.
and show that you care, and build a system around that care. Because there's no rules, you get to create them. Right, that's me done for today, because I need to
Get stuff done. I've got a busy morning and I could go on forever about this stuff. But what I'm going to say is, if you're interested in joining my group, the Online Coaches Network for Purpose-Driven Personal Trainers and Coaches, click the link below. I'm just going to refresh the page behind me. And yeah, like this group is for people that want support in their journey into using the online world, whether that's actually to completely transition your business online, or whether you're actually looking to use the online world to grow your current business. But usually what I find when I speak to people is they want to sort of fix their current business because they're not happy with it, so they use the online marketing foundational stuff. Like, I'm a foundations guy. I'm not going to teach you the fancy shit later on. I can't do that, but I'm focused on the foundational stuff because I see it happen time and time again, where people are not just focusing on the basic stuff, and therefore they've crashed and they burn, and then fucking they've just not got budget to go and throw thousands and thousands of pounds at shit. So foundational stuff here, just so we're clear. The FSA method. Oh shit, wrong fucking name, Scott. I'll just make this easy for myself because I'm technical abilities with my hands this morning, my mind playing with each other. Right, guys, join that group if you're interested in getting support into the online world, if you're interested in using the online world to grow your business. And at the end of the day, if you really want to start getting out your own way, stop beating yourself up and start putting systems in place that work, that are the foundation for your business, which are going to allow you to take more risks up here. Get that in. Get that in. The foundational target market, daily productivity, lead generation, sales. Get it in. Because if you do not have it in, poof, it's going to fall. Okay? And if you're interested in talking about the beta program that I've got, which is like specifically honing in on the free lead generation machine, which is going to help you have that foundational lead generation machine in place that you can run forever. Seriously, doesn't matter what advances in technology come, it doesn't matter what happens with Facebook advertising, it doesn't matter what happens on any platform, the strategy will work. Okay, so if you're interested in talking about that, the beta program, drop me a message right now. Do not fucking hesitate, just drop it. Stop thinking about it, drop the message. Tell me you're interested. I don't bite. I just literally want to speak to you for 10 minutes because I just love speaking to people and connecting with people. And no matter what happens, I'll give you value, regardless of what happens. But if you're interested in that, shoot me a message, join the group, and I will speak to you very soon. Have an awesome Monday, wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak soon.